Sports in America, Business as Usual by Stephen P. Schwartz and Glenn Adams, December 2012. As the walls were shaking, the trees were blowing, and the tide was rising, people were suffering in catastrophic proportions during the throes of Superstorm Sandy. There was no electricity, there was no heat, there was no gasoline, and many people lost all of their worldly belongings. But through it all, Mayor Michael Bloomberg of New York City had the solution. He saw the path of redemption in the form of running the IMG New York City Marathon. What the hell could he have been thinking? While many think that Mayor Mike bowed to the pressure exerted by social media, in fact, he bowed to the many corporate sponsors who clued the mayor in that perhaps running the marathon next to the thousands of New Yorkers suffering may not have been the right public image to portray. So why is it that we as a society need to hide behind sports when so many of our neighbors along the Jersey Shore, Staten Island, and New York were suffering so badly? We all give so much to sports and our favorite teams, buying the tickets and spending our hard-earned money in support of the home team. But for what? Do you think, as a season ticket holder to the New York Yankees, after so many years, that if you were a little short for the rent, you could call up the front office and see if they could help you out with a little loan? Forget about it. But support our teams we do, through tax incentives, infrastructure support, and through personal seat license as they build the stadiums and mausoleums genuflecting to the owners in their pursuit of the almighty dollar. So it's the owners, government officials, and the network TV executives who are complicit in grabbing the low-hanging fruit, salivating at the throngs of us who drive the ratings and in turn the money. Did the New York Giants really have to play the Pittsburgh Steelers on that Sunday after Sandy? The TV time could have been spent helping the public to inform how we could properly mobilize to support the throngs of people who were so badly suffering. Well done, Steelers. They realized that they were better off flying in on that Sunday morning rather than displace those Sandy victims who needed the beds in the team hotel. Barclays Center was set to debut the brand-new tenant, the Brooklyn Nets, as they were to premiere against the New York Knicks. Mayor Mike was set to play the game. Are you kidding me? Meanwhile, the infrastructure of the transit system underneath the arena was totally shut down. No matter. Play the game for Mayor Mike, his girlfriend, and his daughter in an empty arena for the King's Folly. Gratefully, the MTA clued Mike in, and the game was mercifully postponed. So schedule your next press conference and trot out the CEO of Con Ed, get the police commissioner, Governor Andy, and the rest of the traveling roadshow. We don't want to let this photo op go by. While sports undeniably can be part of the healing process, sports are the common thread that links us all together. Whether it's the poor family on welfare or the well-heeled sitting in the luxury suites, we all relate to our team. But there is a time and a place for it, and so soon after the devastation was neither the time nor the place. So while we suffered waiting for the power to come on and were perhaps able to garner some information by squeezing the last bit of juice from our smartphones, my time was not spent listening to the radio broadcast of Monday Night Football. My time was spent wondering PSG or LIPA would ever be able to restore power to my home, whether I could keep my kids warm and fed with a hot meal, and wondering whether I would be able to get gas for my car so I could go to work. I love sports, and I can't wait to get back in the game. But what I learned is that sports are not number one anymore. I love my fellow man, and I love my neighbor. And when those around me are suffering, sports just really doesn't matter that much anymore. God bless the first responders, the police, the firemen, the doctors, the nurses and the paramedics, and those who gave of themselves when no one else did. God bless you and all your loved ones.